Good morning, happy Wednesday, and holy hell, Bitcoin is popping off. This is the daily grind. Welcome back. For anybody that might be new here, what we typically do is go over crypto news. I update myself and I bring you guys along for the ride. Let's see who's here and then we'll get into this. Mr. Crypto Backer, good to see you, buddy. We got Rob Mines, Chris Hanley in the chat, Andrew Masad, Lawnmower Man. Let's see, are you trying it out? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I don't know why you got deleted, but something you were saying was not going with everybody else in the chat, apparently. Let's see, Power Minds Crypto, good to see you, buddy. Let's see, Leo Lustig, welcome back, man. Were you sick? I feel like you were sick. I feel like you told me you had COVID or something. I know the veteran miner just got over it, so hopefully you guys are feeling healthy and okay at this point. Blaine Anderson, good to see you, buddy. Good morning. Jason Leemaster, I totally just butchered your name. I apologize. All right, guys, let's get into this. Bitcoin is looking fantastic. 59,701. Holy hell, are we gonna break 60k during the stream? You think we're gonna break it? Let me know. 3,300 Ethereum, 3326 to be exact. We have almost a 10-cent Dogecoin. You know what, I was listening to Lark Davis's live stream last night while I was getting the kids ready for bed, and he also said that he thinks Dogecoin is going to go to $1 and it's an easy play. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the chat. I think it's going to happen, but who knows? Everything's just going to go crazy this run, to be honest. Kaspa, look at Kaspa. Oh my gosh. 18.3. What is the high on Kaspa? I don't even know. I'm gonna have to look in a minute. LTC at 75 bucks. We have ETC at 28.47. Wow. Solana 111. That threw me off. We have BNB at $409. XRP still floating around 58 cents. I feel like XRP is not moving that much considering they did win the case and stuff. TON, look at TON. TON coins up 27.96% at $2.72. Damn. All right, let's get over to Crypto Bubbles. Biggest earner on the day looks to be this Pepe token, or PP, or whatever the hell you guys want to call it. Pepe. 49% on the day. I had $100 in Pepe in my wallet and I noticed it was at like 150 today, and I was like, damn, I should just sell this shit, but the gas fees on Ethereum are just ridiculous. It's on the Ethereum chain, so there's like literally no point in me even sending it out. We have AR 42.6%. Arweave, look at that, 61 is the ranking at $23.59. Again, we have TON coin up 25.6% in 15th place at $2.73. Kaspa is up 8% today. Bonk is up 13.7. Aptos is up 18.5 at $11.88. Nice. We have Sats over here looking like it's up 11.3% on the day. Again, Dogecoin 3%. Man, everything is looking fantastic. Look at this on the week. Damn. But you know what this means? The fear and greed index is popping off. Flashbang. Apologize. Extreme greed 82. This is where we start paying attention to this chart, right? Once it gets over 75, the greed really starts coming in. When you start seeing extreme greed on this chart for more than a couple days consecutively, we're gonna have some sort of pullback. So just be wary. Make sure you guys know things can't go up forever. Hopefully they do, but they can't. Just saying, might have a pullback. So pay attention, be mindful, don't lose it all. That's all I gotta say. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. This is Mr. Hawk, crypto mining's favorite website. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, Lido Staked Ether, XRP, USDC, Cardano, and Avalanche. Dogecoin is trailing behind in 11th place behind Avalanche. They're both at a $14 billion market cap now, but Avalanche is almost at a 14.9. Crazy. Things have been just like popping off. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. All right, let's see. Litecoin in 22nd place. What in the hell's going on here? Why is 21 above 20? That's odd. Anyways, Bitcoin Cash is in 20th. Kaspa back in the top 30. A dukin for everybody holding Kaspa. Look at that. Ethereum Classic. I'm hoping this one pops off too. Just from the name Ethereum alone, people that don't understand crypto are gonna be, I mean, this is the original Ethereum at the end of the day, but people are gonna not really understand the difference. And hey, shit, why is this one so cheap? I'm gonna get this one. That's what I did when I first got into the market, you know, what, 2018 or so, after that bull run, right? Let's see. We have Kaspa. I want to check out the all-time high. What was it? What was it at? 8 days ago, 18.9. So we got to break 19 cents. We got to break 19 cents on Kaspa. Damn, though, this is great. This looks fantastic. Amazing. Dan R, we are getting the final 2-second pullback off the 30-second happy time. Know what we are talking about. What are you saying? Dan R. No, you need more coffee. Or less coffee, actually. I'm not sure what's happening with you. All right, let's get into the mining segment of things. Actually, you know what? Hold on. We're not getting in the mining segment of things. I want to check out lithium, because the lithium has been popping off lately. I want to see how it's doing today. Never mind.
Bruh.
$3.60. That's still pretty good. That's still really good. Not gonna lie, that's really good. Look at this. Look at this. Lithium killing it. What was the all-time high according to CoinGecko? 386. 386. It's hit. It's at $3.60. You guys think it's gonna go to $5 in the next couple weeks? What do you think? Let me know. Let me know, because this could be a good play, right? I mean, the market, look at the market cap. The market cap on a lithium is stupid low. It's stupid low. 257 million. It's a lot of money, you know, one person, but with a shit ton of people, 257 million is not a lot. Look at, again, let's go to Kaspa. All right, go back to Kaspa. Look at this, $4.1 billion market cap. I think lithium is gonna freaking go nuts once people start actually investing into it. That's crazy. No, I only sold half of it, all for you miners, and I'm still mining it. That's the only reason I sold it, because I took profits. So all right, so people are like wondering why I took profits on a lithium. Listen, look, 8 months, it is up 63,000%. And I dual mined this shit for like a month, and I had a bag that was worth like, I don't even know, I cashed out a little over $1,000 or something, and it was like, why not? I could still mine the stuff, I could still earn it. I'm gonna take profits. Hell yeah, you gotta have a plan. You always gotta have a plan. So I sold half of it, took some profits, paid for some of my shit in the basement, because you guys know I'm redoing my studio. So that is coming slowly but surely. Just a lot to do with the kids. All right, here we go. Let's get into this mining segment of things. You guys know I like to timestamp this stuff. We have the Antminer KS5, top of the charts, 20 terahash unit, making $233 a day. Holy shit. Perfect. That is crazy. I can't wait to see a video on these. I honestly, again, top 3 machines here. I haven't seen a video on any of these. I would love to buy one of these, but that is way too much money. $35,000 for this machine is way too much money. It's way too big of a risk. I would rather just take that money, if I had it to blow on a unit or a brick, I would just throw it into Kaspa and just wait. That's just my personal opinion. You guys do what you will. We have the Ice River KS3, 8 terahash unit, making $88 a day. That's actually still not that bad. I'm kind of you know what, Kaspa does get a little bit chopped off every month. Instead of having like a 4-year cycle, they take off a little bit incrementally, right, throughout the year. So that could be the result of why this is still down a bit, you know, and obviously more machines coming online, less profitable for the older machines, right? And it's really not that old, but man, they're capitalizing on these for sure. The KS3M 6 terahash unit, $63.95 a day. We have the KS2 looking like it is making $21.16 a day. The KS7's actually doing pretty good over here, mining CKB. This is Nervos, right, if I'm not mistaken. $21.42. We have the X16P from Jingle Mining. Shout out to them. ETH, W, and ZIL is the most profitable on this unit. $20.59 a day. Again, I think this machine needs to come down by like half. This needs to be half the price. This machine's way too expensive for what it is. I mean, listen, this probably gonna pay off in the bull run if anybody bought this, but that's just too much. It's too much. Let's see, Superscaler K10 45 gigahash unit. This is the FPGA, if I'm not mistaken. Mining Carlson, $12 a day, not too bad. KS1 1 terahash unit, making $10.58 per day, not too bad. Could be worse, could be worse. Actually, is anybody getting the S21 Antminer S21? Any of you guys? Did it hit 60k? Yes! Hell yeah, look at that. Bitcoin hit 60k. Mr. Zapirate, thank you for letting me know in the chat. Spam them Bitcoin emojis. That's amazing. Hell yeah. All right, let's get into this. Let's keep going. X16Q making $6.97 a day. ETH, W, and ZIL mining that is the most profitable. We got my Antminer L7 down at Terra Hosting. This is a merge mining Doge and Litecoin, making $6.38 per day. Let's keep going down here. Let's see what we got. Kaspa KS0 Pro 200 gigahash unit, making $2.16 a day. Hell yeah. Mr. Crypto Frank in the chat, $49.99 super chat. BTC about to be 60K. Hell yeah. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for the super chat, keeping the stream alive. You're awesome, buddy. Appreciate you. Ice River KS0 100 gigahash unit at $1.04 a day. That is really good for 65 watts. Look at that. Holy hell. All right, move on to the GPU mining segment of things. Let's see, just check the ASICs over here, make sure it's still Kaspa, because I know SDR was taking over for a bit. All right, Kaspa miners, top of the chart still. That's good. Okay, let's see. Look at this. Ironfish, most profitable on the RTX 4090. Damn, that is crazy. Again, Crypto Frank, thank you so much. You're awesome. I don't know why this thing is so delayed with the alerts. Like, I have alerts set up with Stream Labs or whatever, and it's just like stupid delayed. Anyways, the Ironfish, top of the charts on the 4090 with Hyper and a Lithium. We have Pyron, also top of the charts. Not too bad. Chlor on top of the charts for some coins. I mean, some cards, rather. And then we have Conflux and Radiant. Nice. Oh, Ergo. Look at Ergo. Actually, isn't Ergo getting listed somewhere? Ergo's getting listed somewhere. Where was it? Binance? Did I hear that last night? Did I hear that last night? Do you guys know Ergo getting listed on Binance? Is that true? There it is. There's the alert. Thank you, Mr. Crypto Frank, for buying the dip. Appreciate you.
Donated $49.99 through super chat. BTC about be $60,000.
Hell yeah, look at this, dude. Bitcoin killing it right now. Man, the portfolios are looking nice. Looking nice, fellas. Hopefully you guys are able to pay off all your debt. Let's get rid of that mortgage. That's my plan this bull run. All right, let's move into news. The news segment of things, guys. Spam those Bitcoin emojis. Cryptocurrency market value hits $2 trillion milestone. Let's see what they got to say over here on Bloomberg Crypto. Let's do it.
You've certainly seen a
Bloomberg Television, rather. Sorry.
rapid rise back above 57,000. What's driving it?
It's really astonishing. To your point, it's above 2 trillion now, and it's astonishing because just 2 years ago, the market cap was at 890, and this was at the depths of the bear market. So now it's back above 2.2, and at its highest, Bitcoin, the whole market cap rather of the crypto assets was at 2.7. So why is Bitcoin up this much? Obviously, Bitcoin is the biggest coin. It's driving the rally higher. It's up 12% this week, 32% this year. It's really because of a slew of reasons. The optimism around Bitcoin ETFs, we have the halving, and you throw in there Michael Saylor buying Bitcoin ETFs. And of course, if you go more macro, you add that the Fed is easing. So that obviously drives risk assets, and Bitcoin is one of them. So it's green on the screen. It's just really a lot of optimism out there.
You know, it's amazing to see these news channels, right? These videos are like less than a day old, and it's like it's already $3,000 higher. And it was like even worse yesterday. It was like they were talking about like a $40-something thousand Bitcoin, and it's up over 57. It's insane.
Well, Isabel, you mentioned the halving. Obviously, that is up and coming. I just wonder how much market pricing is already reflecting the anticipation of that. What's the sentiment around that event?
Oh, you know what? Real quick, we've never had a breaking of an all-time high before a halving. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you think we're going to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to put a poll in the chat, and then you guys can answer there.
Towards halving is really positive because if you go by history, the last 3 halvings saw Bitcoin's price rise. So just for the uninitiated, halving is basically when they cut down the reward that miners receive into half. So now miners receive 6.125 per block of Bitcoin, and now they're going to receive around 3. And just for context, when Bitcoin was launched around 2009, miners receive up to 50. So this is really the scarcity play here of Bitcoin. There are only 21 million coins, and that's why a lot of people are saying that it's a great inflation hedge. And now Bitcoin is outperforming a lot of traditional risk assets, including equities, the NASDAQ, the S&P, and even gold. So that's why a lot of folks are really bullish about the space.
So
how should investors consider what's already been priced in here?
I think that's the number one thing because Bitcoin these days hasn't been as volatile. Back then, when you see bad news, you see a dip. When you see good news, there's a rise. But then now it seems like the optimism is a lot more steady, mainly because it's powered by a number of things and not just one random headline. You see the ETF space, you see a lot of institutional investors really piling into Bitcoin. With the ETF, that's really the number one vehicle, and there's now a net 6.1 billion inflows so far for the 9 Bitcoin ETFs at least.
All-time high is 69,000. Shout out to Bloomberg for that. All right, let's move on to the next clip here. This is the Chainlink co-founder Bitcoin ETF a watershed moment. Let's get into it.
As we think about where we are right now, when it comes to Bitcoin, highest level since the fall of 2021, which was really around the peak of the bull market, which we know was in pretty short order followed by a very deep bear market that we've now come out of. Should we be confident that this is going to be sustained this time around? What's different now compared to several years ago?
So he's sitting so still.
Great. Thank you for having me. Historically, the way that this has evolved is that net new buyers drive more adoption and market cycles. And I think the question to ask is, who are the net new buyers in this cycle? And the net new buyers is the global financial system, which is a very, very big group of net new buyers. The Bitcoin ETF is just an initial offering that allows the global financial system to have basically investment rails, payment rails, ways to put capital towards cryptocurrency and towards Bitcoin within structures that they find comfortable for them and normal and something that they can do from a risk point of view. So I think if you look at the total net new market that's opening up through things like ETFs and you do the basic arithmetic on that, then even within certain conservative estimates, you can see that there's still a lot more value that can flow into not only Bitcoin ETFs, but other cryptocurrency ETFs. And in my opinion, that's really just the beginning, because the next stage is then asset tokenization, where banks see all these inflows into ETFs, and then they make assets to compete with the ETFs or to get some of that capital.
So, Sergey, in your mind, is the fact that ETF products now exist, is that representative of a turning point in the adoption cycle?
Yes, I would say that's a watershed moment where the top asset managers in the world, the biggest asset manager, many of the other large asset managers have gotten to a level of comfort with the asset and the legal dynamics around the asset that they're willing to put out very structured financial products. That's definitely a watershed moment that if you talk to people about 5 years ago even, I think they would have very serious doubts about that possibility. And that watershed moment is basically a way for a very large market to access cryptocurrency. And the size of that market, I think, isn't fully understood by even the average consumer or even some of the other institutions. I think it's really quite a massive market. So it is a watershed moment, and it is really the global financial market being part of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology in a way that didn't exist before.
Interesting. By the way, banks actually submitted a letter to the SEC for approval, or basically like figuring out how they could hold cryptocurrency, I believe yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to Crypto Frank for that. Sorry I couldn't pull it up, but it was like super blurry when I pulled it up on the screen, so I couldn't really show everybody. But either way, I posted it in VIP. If you guys are interested, go check it out. There's like an article, the letter that they actually sent to the SEC. So I think the banks right now are buying up Bitcoin because, to be honest, it's going to be the best asset for them to hold long term, right, when it comes to money. All right, Bitcoin briefly tops 57K. Again, you guys know it's over 60 as of right now. Freaking insane. Can't believe it's 60, almost 500 right now. Crazy, crazy. All right, let's get on this. Analysis says drop back is favorable. Let's get into it. Guys, that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out.
Well, the price of Bitcoin reaching its highest level since November 2021, briefly pushing past that $57,000 mark. The big catalyst this time, a big investment from MicroStrategy. Bitcoin miners and crypto exchanges, including Coinbase and Robinhood, are also seeing gains alongside the leading digital currency. So, can Bitcoin bulls expect more upside in the months to come? For more on the crypto market, let's bring in Owen Lau, Oppenheimer Executive Director and Senior Analyst. Owen, we're talking about this big buy from MicroStrategy as one catalyst, at least today, but is it really at the end of the day about the Bitcoin ETFs and having the easier access?
Real quick, Mr. Crypto Frank, thank you for this. Let's see. What did he say in the chat real quick? Let me just look. Hold on. I said, where was it? He said if you scroll down, right here, if you scroll down, you can see the ETF heat map. It shows how much Bitcoin they are holding. Let's see. Heat map. You're talking about right here? Net inflows, USD. The total Bitcoin spot ETF net inflow. Oh, you can see everything on this site. Wow, that's kind of cool. No shit, huh? God damn, look at this freaking boner candle. That's insane. Insane how much money's coming into the market right now. Damn. Thank you for that, Mr. Crypto Frank. You're awesome.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me. You're definitely right. Yesterday, we saw the news from MicroStrategy buying 3,000 Bitcoin for $155 million. And I think that was part of the reason why the Bitcoin kind of break through that $52,000 range. And going forward, I think going into April and maybe even May, we're going to see the catalyst from Bitcoin halving and the catalyst of further adoption from spot Bitcoin ETF continues. When we track the numbers, we continue to see more and more new money coming into these products in IBIT, in BlackRock, and also Fidelity. So I think the trend could continue, but just be mindful that there may be sell the news event in April.
Is that all just institutional money, as you pointed out, when you say new money flowing in?
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit of everywhere. Some institutional monies, I think most of that. If you're retail investors, you have the access to Coinbase and Robinhood and some other platform already. So I would say most of these monies are coming from institutional investors. But this is against the
100%.
backdrop that, remember, many of these financial advisors and RIAs, they are still doing due diligence. So what we are seeing is there could be potential more money coming into this space once they finish the due diligence and they change the policy.
You know, we always try to make sense of where Bitcoin is moving by seeing where the correlation is with equities. Are we seeing, is this a hedge? I mean, is there anything that we can point to that tracks with where stocks have been moving? Or is it just the general risk-off sentiment we've been seeing in markets broadly?
Yeah, it's hard to gauge. If you run the correlation, it may correlate to high-tech companies, high beta tech stock. Some people view this, or many people view this as a hedge, a digital gold to hedge inflation. The good thing about, interesting thing about Bitcoin is it is just a little bit of everything. But what we saw is if we're going to see rates coming down, Bitcoin should benefit from that. And if we see high tech companies to go up, it also has a high beta characteristic that can also drive Bitcoin up as well. So I would say hard to find one point to gauge Bitcoin because Bitcoin, it's kind of a combination of many things.
Yeah, I should correct myself in saying it's about the risk on sentiment, not necessarily the risk off. You mentioned two key catalysts that we're likely to see within the crypto space. You combine that with what you just mentioned about Fed policy being potentially supportive for Bitcoin to push higher. What does that mean for where prices move? We're at roughly 57,000 right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, like, I don't want to predict whether this is going up or down, or do I have any target for Bitcoin, but I do see these catalysts to play out. Again, go back to the catalyst having in April.
Look at this. Look at this. The news can't keep up. Bitcoin is over 60,000. If anybody's just joining, appreciate you guys.
Spot Ether ETF in May, and also the Bitcoin, the Fed rate cut in the second half of this year. That could potential to support Bitcoin to go up. But again, just be mindful that Bitcoin has been up a lot already. So go back to my previous comment, just be careful about sell the news event in April. It's hard to gauge, tick by tick and daily movement of Bitcoin, but I do think that the backdrop is pretty favorable for this asset class this year.
So the reason for this pump, we think it's the banks buying into crypto, right? They have, I guess, approval to hold cryptocurrency as of now. So they're going to be purchasing it up, right? When the other institutions come in, that's what we're going to see, another giant rise or spike in price, right? When say the average guys like New York Life, those financial advisors get on board with putting, 1 to 2% allocation into the Bitcoin ETFs for, future, your IRAs and stuff. It's going to be amazing.
And Owen, since we're talking about, where Bitcoin is tracking today, you can't help but think about that record that was set back in November of 2021. Is this rally different?
Yeah, LV does 57 Bitcoin. Yeah, old news, dude. So literally the news stations can't keep up. It's just been pumping like crazy.
This rally, I feel like this is different because if you look at the last crypto winter, we also had a lot of, I would say, a lot of retail participation. If I look at Coinbase retail trading volume, at the end of in the fourth quarter, if you look at retail trading volume in Coinbase, we are only at 16% of the last peak retail trading volume back in fourth quarter of 2021. So I still see more room to go up. At the same time, I do think we have a lot, like wash out a lot of bad actors already. So it just feels different to me because the space is cleaner, and also retail participation, it's not there yet.
It feels different because it is different. Shout out to Yahoo Finance for that. All right, again, this one saying Bitcoin 57K. Real quick, are you trying? Thank you for the $1 super chat. You're awesome. Appreciate you keeping the stream alive. Bitcoin price could reach 125K by 2025. Again, that means by the end of this year, which is amazing. Let's see what they got to say over here, guys. That like button. Appreciate you hanging out.
Bitcoin, we'll start there, topping $57,000 earlier this morning.
We are over 60,000 as of right now. They obviously can't keep up.
The first time in over 2 years. We're seeing it trade now around $56,811.24 to be exact. The rally largely attributed to demand around spot Bitcoin ETFs, plus investments from MicroStrategy, which scooped up over $155 million worth of Bitcoin in the past couple of weeks. For more on the rally, we turn to Mark Palmer.
I think they have 193,000 Bitcoin.
Managing Director and Senior Research Analyst. Mark, always a great pleasure to get some of your insights and analysis here, particularly.
Sweet. Thank you so much for that $1 super chat again. You're awesome, buddy.
You're focused in on MicroStrategy, but if we kind of pair together what we're seeing, because a lot of the MicroStrategy story now is hinging on Bitcoin as well. What does Bitcoin need to get up to in order for it to hit some of your targets that you've got set forth for MicroStrategy?
Yes, good to talk to you. Our assumption is that the price of Bitcoin is going to achieve $125,000 by the end of 2025, which, as you can see, the stock, the price of Bitcoin had been around 57,000. So that's a big move. But why do we have confidence that that's going to happen and it's going to accrue to the benefit of MicroStrategy? Really, it comes down to supply and demand. As you mentioned, there's been significant demand for Bitcoin since the 9 spot Bitcoin ETFs have launched following the SEC's approval of that structure in January. That's been amazing in terms of the volumes that we're seeing across the board. At the same time, we are now approaching a milestone in the Bitcoin ecosystem, the so-called halving, which is slated to occur at the end of April. Every 4 years or so, you see the mining rewards that are paid to Bitcoin miners cut in half. This has happened 3 times since in the history of Bitcoin in 2012, 2016, and 2020. And in each case, we saw a rally moving into the halving and then a bigger rally for the next year plus afterward. This is, again, simply about new supply being curtailed. It's really crucial to the mechanism behind Bitcoin because that controls inflation, which is where Bitcoin is seen as an alternative to the US dollar and other inflationary currencies.
Real quick, Mr. Blaine Anderson, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Let's see what he said real quick. And Mr. Kyle Rosa, thanks for being a member for 8 months, around 88K by the end of the year, you think? Nice, man. Nice. I hope so. Let's see. Took profit and bought a KS0 Pro. Some may disagree with that decision, but for me, for a small home miner, can't beat the low watts with the hash rate. You know what, Blaine Anderson? I don't think that was a bad decision at all. And Mr. Are You Trying? You again, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Hit that like button, guys. Appreciate you. And Mr. Dan R, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Come on, guys. 215 watching, only 72 likes. Smash that like button for the love of Bitcoin.
And you also
Let's
have
check it out.
Anticipated
60,
approval potentially here, the Ether
60,
applications, which could be another catalyst for crypto. All in all, when we talk about this rally, whether or not it has staying power, what do you think that upside then looks like for some of these cryptocurrencies?
Well, again, we focus primarily on Bitcoin in this context, but we're seeing a setup such as we have never seen before. Now, I say never seen. The history of Bitcoin only goes back to 2008, 2009, but still, we've seen some massive rallies and massive pullbacks. This go round, we have the confluence of not only the halving, but one of the biggest tailwinds we've seen for this space. The wholesale adoption of the cryptocurrency by institutions. And of course, Bitcoin is that odd asset class insofar as retail really led the demand for it for the first decade plus of its existence. It's really now that there's the opportunity for institutional investors to come in. MicroStrategy is one way to play that for institutions.
Buying the dip. And real quick, somebody else in the chat made a good point. With that KS0, you can also mine other coins with unMineable. And that is, so that profitability will stay throughout the portfolio that you're trying to acquire other coins as well, which is cool. Real quick, somebody in the chat, literally let's name someone in the chat, said, I tried to move BTC, fees were 50%. What am I doing? Anybody? I think you can set how fast you want it to go. I'm not sure. I know you can do that with Ethereum. To be honest, I don't transact in BTC too much. I know it takes like an hour every time I do it, but I'm not sure what the fees are right now, to be honest. If you guys know, let me know in the chat.
Institutional investors, frankly, we see some benefits versus spot Bitcoin ETFs in that regard, simply because MicroStrategy is still throwing off free cash flow.
Crypto Meme says, yes, you can set it. I'm not sure. I don't know if it depends on the platform where you send it from, if you could set it or not. I think there's certain platforms that are easier than others to figure out how to set it, like the fee, right? To send it or whatever.
From its software business using that to buy more Bitcoin. It's issued $2.2 billion in debt, used the proceeds from that to issue Bitcoin. So it's a unique vehicle in that regard, that it's not simply a passive investment. It's a company that is actively positioning to make an intelligent leveraged bet on Bitcoin.
Mark, what crypto touching companies perhaps, or even crypto platform company from your analysis across this industry is best positioned to really capitalize on any furthering of this rally within crypto?
Well, again, I have to come back to MicroStrategy simply because if you look at the correlation coefficient, the correlation between Bitcoin and MicroStrategy, it's 0.94. So if someone can go out and buy Bitcoin in the market, fine. But many institutional investors in particular do not have the ability to do that under their mandates. And so this offers an attractive alternative. And again, on a levered basis. There's also a robust option stack around MicroStrategy, and the stock itself is marginable. So you can't hedge effectively with a spot Bitcoin ETF. You can hedge very effectively with the capital structure around MicroStrategy.
All right, Mark Palmer, thanks so much.
Shout out to Yahoo Finance for that. All right, let's jump into Crypto World. CNBC Television again. They're just at 57,000. They record like yesterday at like noon. You know what I mean? So Bitcoin surges past 57,000. As you guys know, if anybody's just joining, we have broken the $60,000 mark, which is amazing. This is the highest level since December 2021. This is amazing, guys. We're killing it. Let's do it.
Today, Bitcoin breaks through $57,000 for the first time since December 2021. Do Kwon's lawyers warn he could miss the start of his U.S. civil fraud trial. And the CEO of Digital Asset Research breaks down the data from the firm's latest update on crypto ETFs.
Killing it. Guys, the like button, please. Appreciate you. I hate asking, but YouTube really makes me.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Talia Kaplan. Bitcoin extending a rally today, reaching a two-year high above $57,000, lifting the broader crypto market. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin traded just under $57,100, but earlier it rose to $57,445, its highest level since December 2021. Now, Ether traded around $3,200 at noon, but earlier reached a high of nearly $3,300, its highest level since April 2022. Polygon's Matic token, however, dropped nearly 2%. Now, U.S. crypto-focused stocks also surged in this morning's trading, with MicroStrategy jumping more than 9% and Coinbase rising more than 3% as of noon Eastern. The two crypto-related companies have seen their stock prices grow more than 230% over the past year.
That's crazy. Real quick, did you guys know? So actually, my man Foley Electric, shout out to you because he's a friggin' OG in the space. He actually told me last night. So I put a certain amount of money into Coinbase to actively buy and sell Bitcoin, right? Just to kind of get the gains, so I can just keep my holdings, where my holdings are, and I don't have to touch them. But he told me that when you have money in Coinbase, if you keep it in USD, it's FDIC backed. So you don't have to worry about it like disappearing on you. But if you convert it to the USDC, which is the cryptocurrency, right, stablecoin, then it's not backed by that. So That was quite an interesting thing that I didn't know, and it was it made me rethink about holding USDC and just possibly keeping it in US dollars. Do you know what I mean, on that platform, because it will be backed if anything happens.
Now, Bitcoin's gains come on the back of MicroStrategy disclosing yesterday that large purchase of about 3,000 Bitcoins for $155 million. Other bullish factors? A surge of funds into Bitcoin ETFs and the cryptocurrency's upcoming halving event. We'll have more on that in just a bit. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. Do Kwon might miss the start of his U.S. civil fraud trial. Attorneys representing the Terraform Labs co-founder submitted an update to the court yesterday, saying Do Kwon's extradition to the U.S. was taking longer than expected due to unanticipated mistakes by the High Court in Montenegro. Because of the delays, his attorney said he likely won't be present for the start of his trial on March 25th.
Yeah, Mr. Greater Good Mining said that's a good tip. I did not know that. Yeah, me neither until he told me last night. I was like, wow, you know what? Now I feel a lot better about keeping some money in Coinbase. I'll just keep it in USD on the platform.
Said his lawyers told the judge they won't ask to reschedule. Now, this trial is over civil fraud charges brought by the SEC, but Do Kwon also faces federal criminal charges from the Department of Justice in connection with the collapse of Terra Luna. Next, Republican lawmakers are taking another swing at banning CBDCs. Senator Ted Cruz introduced the CBDC Anti-Surveillance Act, which would bar the Federal Reserve from issuing a CBDC and more broadly prevent the central bank from issuing certain products or services directly to individuals.
Yes.
Republican Senators Bill Hagerty, Rick Scott, Ted Budd, and Mike Braun signed onto the bill, and it received endorsements from outside groups like the Blockchain Association, which said CBDCs present, quote, major privacy concerns for everyday Americans. The bill would have to make it through the Democratic-led Senate before moving on to the House. All right, back to markets for our main story. I spoke with Doug Schwenk, the CEO of Digital Asset Research, for insight into what's behind the crypto rally. We also discussed the research firm's latest update on crypto ETFs and what the data reveals about crypto sentiment. Big day for crypto, with Bitcoin hitting a fresh high for the year, trading above $57,000.
Oh, sorry, Talia, I'm going to cut you off because we're trading above 60,000 if anybody's just joined.
Surpassing that mark for the first time since December 2021. Ether also hit a new high of $3,290, its highest level in about 2 years. So what do you think is behind the recent price action? What's moving crypto markets right now?
Big day, big week, and a big couple of months for crypto in general. I think we've got several different stories happening. One is certainly the volumes in the Bitcoin ETF have really picked up and animal spirits are back. People are trading it, and the demand has been very strong, creating better liquidity in US markets and bringing with it more investors. But if you look at the story of Ethereum, which I think is even more interesting, there's lots of things happening with the Ethereum network. You have a big conference this week with ETH Denver. You have the restaking upgrades to the protocol happening. And if you look at that, the trajectory of Ethereum, of Ether, has been much more of a steady climb, whereas Bitcoin seems to be finally...
Real quick, Mr. Nismo Miner, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Appreciate you. Kaspa to 18 cents, he says. It's amazing. It's actually, hopefully it breaks 19. That'd be crazy if it did today. Also, Mr. Tim I Am Crypto said Chris Bagnell on YouTube posted his Phantom wallet was hacked. Yes, I saw that. We actually talked about it yesterday. Guys, please, for the love of God, stop linking these wallets to things online, to sites. Okay, if you're gonna get NFTs or get involved with NFTs, shit along those lines, please only do that kind of stuff with like MetaMask, right? Don't put like your life savings into an online wallet. Go get Tangem or EliPal or something. I have codes up above if you guys want. If not, use somebody else's. Just be safe, please. All right, that's all I gotta say about that.
Kind of catching up to what's going on in other parts of crypto markets.
So how big of a role are spot ETFs playing in the recent rally? I read that you said that the product signal movement toward greater acceptance and legitimacy for the crypto industry. Can you elaborate on that? And what do you think has changed since spot Bitcoin ETFs started trading here in the US, and what's next?
So it certainly has changed market structure. We have seen more of maybe what we would think of as retail and or wealth advisors or others who now think that adding that ETF is a safe choice to their existing portfolio because it doesn't come with the traditional discount that the Grayscale Trust had before it became an ETF that caused a lot of people not to want to hold it in their brokerage account. And it does put a patina of legitimacy on something where we're seeing this especially in the financial advisor space, where they say, okay, we know that this has been a source of outsized returns, and we know that this would be good for our clients, but if it's not in a wrapper that we can trust, and it does really help to have these big brand names, a BlackRock, a Fidelity, a Grayscale with these ETFs that I think give people a lot of confidence that some of the issues they might expect in Bitcoin won't be a problem.
So you're the CEO of Digital Asset Research, a provider of crypto data for institutional clients, and the firm offers a monthly update on crypto ETFs. Your report covers more than 160 crypto exchange traded products, and some of the highlights include total assets under management, which most recently is nearly $55 billion. What does this signify to you?
Lots of money flowing into those ETFs, and we've seen that with the numbers in these U.S. ETFs, and to be fair, some of it flowing out of the European ETPs, where historically those were the major place for listed products. It was not very long ago, just last year, that the total listed space was about 8 billion. At the end of January, it was 42 billion, and now here we are about 55 billion. And I think there's a combination of money flowing in, as well as, the prices as it goes up. Of course, then assets under management increase, and with $57 Bitcoin or $57,000 Bitcoin, that really does help that AUM number quite a bit.
60,000. So based on your research and what you're noticing, which spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US are commanding the most attention? Which are proving to be the most popular among investors?
Oh, it's probably BlackRock. I haven't listened to this, but he's probably going to say BlackRock. But Grayscale has had a lot of outflows, but I guess yesterday they had the least amount of outflows since the launch of the ETF.
I think that based on brand and volumes, I think the BlackRock ETF has been a favorite. Certainly a lot of attention on the Grayscale ETF as well, given all the work they did to kind of pave the way with the lawsuit and other activities. But most of that work, I think, or most of the attention right now is, how many people will stick with the Grayscale ETF. There was quite a bit of selling initially. That seems to have leveled out a bit. But those are the two that we spend a lot of time talking about with clients. There are certainly some others that have had great growth stories, but I think those are the two that have stood out the most. I guess the third one that I would mention is the Franklin Templeton ETF, and I think that is very interesting because they have so many other things that they're doing in crypto, such as tokenized money market fund with their Benji fund, and that is helping them to build out a product suite, which I think is going to be very interesting, and a lot of our clients are talking about that.
Now, what do you guys think? Do you think that the Bitcoin as a whole is going to start getting money inflows on Monday and outflows on Friday, kind of like the stock market stuff now because of these ETFs? I'm wondering if we're going to see that on Friday, and that's really when I think I've decided to start DCAing into Bitcoin personally, Friday or Saturday morning.
Before we go,
I'd love to know your thoughts, though.
Love your insight on the fact that 10 spot Bitcoin ETFs are trading here in the US. So what do you think will happen there? Do you predict some consolidation, and which would you say are best positioned to survive?
I do think there's going to be some consolidation. It is hard to imagine that there are going to be 10 Bitcoin ETFs that are not differentiated. And we did see this sort of race to lower fees, which did generate AUM for some of the funds. Some of them may hang on with fairly lower AUM numbers, but I do think that brand matters a lot. And I think that as we get more retail and more wealth advisors and others, I think the likes of the Franklin Templeton, the Fidelity, the BlackRock, and the Grayscale will probably be the most recognizable and most likely to persist. What will consolidation look like? It's hard to say. We're talking to a lot of clients who are trying to think about how to differentiate in the next product. Maybe that would be a Bitcoin and gold ETF, or maybe that would be a Bitcoin and Ethereum mix, or maybe even something with equities and Bitcoin in order to not be just 10 copycats of basically the same thing with slightly different fees and maybe slightly different service providers.
Okay, that's all for Crypto World today,
right.
but we'll be back again.
Shout out to Crypto World. And real quick personal shill. If you guys are interested, I did make a couple new logos and stuff in the Bitcoin merch store, or just crypto merch store. If you guys are interested, go check it out. It is in the description. I'll leave it in the live chat in a second. All right, we're going to move on to videos. So we have Crypto Zombie. Yeah, I like his videos because he does TA and he grabs news clips and everything else. So I want to kind of get into this. We'll see what he's going to say over here. Bitcoin alarm. I can't believe they did this. We don't have much time. This is urgent. Let's see what he's got to say, guys. Get ready for the hype.
Role of crypto, but more importantly, because it's so international, it's going to transcend any one currency and currency evaluation. I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold in many ways.
And you know what? I shout out to Larry Fink because he completely did a 360 on his outlook on blockchain, Bitcoin, and technology as a whole. So, I mean, you got to give it to him. He did the homework and he actually converted himself. And you know what? We're not really seeing that with JP Morgan, but he's going to be, or Jamie Dimon rather, he's going to be, yeah, I'm sure he's going to change his tune at some point when this shit's over 100K.
Ways. It's going to transcend any one currency and currency evaluation. It's digitizing gold. It's going to transcend gold.
Look at all the women chasing him. Fucking savage.
What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. What is happening with the Bitcoin price? So we started the week in the 51,000 area, and then Bitcoin shot all the way up over $57,000. Now, where is this buying pressure coming from? Well, there's a very interesting theory that I do want to go into today, but really quick, having a look at what's going on in the chart, you could see that we did break out of this parallel channel, and remember, we said this was a bullish megaphone pattern, right, where we had this lower
He did say this in one of his last videos.
But we also had these higher highs, and this is generally a continuation pattern, and you can see that we did get that support right here, which is why we're seeing price bounce off of this area. In fact, if we have a look at just Bitcoin's quarterly returns, right now, Bitcoin is on track to put out its best ever Q1 leading into a halving period. So obviously there's a lot of things about Bitcoin that we've never seen before, right? We've never been this high, price-wise leading into the halving. And I got to tell you something, guys, this is crazy, but excluding the ETFs, excluding all the indicators that we look at on this channel, there's also something right now that Bitcoin has never done before. And not only has it never actually done this before, in theory, it shouldn't be doing this, which is insane. I want to talk about the conspiracy of who might actually be buying Bitcoin right now, why this is happening, and also the fact that, yeah, time might be running out, because as we said, if we keep this parabolic trend running and it doesn't break, I mean, you're talking about some very, very high price targets happening very quickly. So I want to talk about what is specifically happening, right? Because, if we come over here and we have a look, yes, we have this longer parallel channel, and you could say that we haven't had full confirmation on this breakout just yet. But again, this is why the TA works, because we had this area right here. We consolidated under the heart line, right? Then we consolidated above the heart line, fake out retest on the major trend line, recapture the heart line, and touch the top again. I mean, this is a perfect trading pattern if you guys were looking to do that. And I want to just...
Does anybody here trade? And you know what? He did show this parabolic trend actually in one of the last videos we watched also.
Jump into this super quick before we get to the point of the video, but as you guys can see, Bitcoin is seriously starting to gear up on this parabolic trend. Now, yes, at some point these trends do look to break, and as you guys can see right here, we did hit the 0.618. We did have a 20% retracement. But that was basically the dip to be buying, right? And where are we right now? We're exactly at the 0.786. So this is the next area, and we have hit this target. Now, after this, guys, just to point it out, there's nothing stopping Bitcoin really from this point going back to new all-time highs. I mean, the only thing we have after...
Dude, look how close we are. Look how close we are to this all-time high. We're like 9 grand away, literally 9 grand away. 60,473 if anybody's just joining. Crazy.
0.78 is literally the one, which means we just go back to all-time highs. And I can tell you something, guys.
Insane.
You know, I'm not saying we're going to go to all-time highs tomorrow, but at the rate that these prices are moving, it could happen faster than most can think. And this is what happens with markets, right? They take time, they start, you start to have that accumulation, you start to have that slow grind up. And then the next thing you know, every day you're opening your phone and you're having $1,000, $5,000, maybe even $10,000 candles for Bitcoin, right? So I would definitely be, not cautious, but I mean, if we have a look right here.
So Solar Miner, I kind of agree. TA is, what did he say? Where is it? TA is irrelevant right now. It is and it isn't. Once we get past the all-time high, then it's irrelevant because we don't know where the hell it's going to go. But once you have that high number, you can do a little bit of whatever. I mean, I'm not a trader, but Crypto Zombie does pretty good with all of his charting, so I can't really complain.
Something incredible that Bitcoin has done, as we pointed out, every single time that we have, especially on the market cipher, Bitcoin hitting the RSI in this 100 area, we tend to go on a very, very long, very aggressive move to the upside. In fact, the last time that this happened, as we pointed out, Bitcoin essentially, from this area right here to the top, basically had a 400% move. And
this is on the weekly chart, by the way.
That move happened in less than 500 days. And in fact, if you want to come over...
So each candle is a week.
Here, we got up to around the $67,000 area, which was, around that 400% move, and that only took about 154 days. So this can obviously move quicker than most can anticipate, but what is interesting is if we take this major trend line, right, we take this peak right here, all the way back in 2017, we draw the line all the way out here, you could see where this area, right, started acting as that support during the previous bull run before we broke down. Well, look what's happening right here, guys. That level has
That's actually a really good trend line that he's drawing right there.
Been acting as basically resistance with the exception of this fake out right here for multiple weeks, and we are bouncing off of it. We are literally seeing things that we have never seen happen before for Bitcoin. It is exciting times, and you know what's even scarier? Is that I'm still not really hearing retail getting excited yet. So all of this is happening, and the Uber drivers are not talking about Bitcoin. The deli person at the deli that's making your sandwich, they're not talking about
your
Bitcoin
friend's not
yet.
calling you yet.
You know what's going to happen?
Oh my fuck.
I just got an alert over here.
God, that was so loud in my ear. It sounded like a fire alarm alert.
You know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is as soon as we hit that all-time high, that's when the news, the media coverage is going to come out, and that's when things get crazy. And once you break the all-time high, I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon, but my goodness, has this market moved a lot faster than we thought, that is when things are going to get absolutely crazy. So I want to dive into the really interesting part of today's video, but I also did want to point out the fact that Meta Signals did...
God, that was stupid loud. That legit hurt my eardrum. Real quick, we have Crypto Meme said, yeah, LOL, retail isn't even here yet. It's just us and institutions. We are first. Yes, you guys are still early. It's not too late to get into Bitcoin. And again, what is it, 0.01? Is probably what you should it's 0.01 is probably what you should try to accumulate about that much. I think it'll be about what, 6K at this point. Just do your best to get it, but I mean, if you have any Bitcoin, let's be real, you're doing better than most other people.
Actually call this, and look at this, guys. They had the stop down here. The stop did not get hit. So if you got in this trade, you held in this trade, it was a little scary. It looked like it was going to do in the description.
I jumped forward a little bit because that was a shill.
And so this is where I want to start today. We had a milestone yesterday. We had IBIT, which is BlackRock's.
This is why I like Crypto Zombie, actually, because he goes through Twitter. I'm not a real big Twitter guy, but he gets the consensus through the Twitter market in his videos, which is nice.
ETF trading $1 billion worth of shares, and this was actually earlier in the day. It actually did even more than that, and that's what I said this morning. I said breaking.
Yes.
BlackRock's Bitcoin holdings have now surpassed 7 billion, and I put this little Pac-Man guy eating the Bitcoin over here because this is what I'm trying to say, and this is what I've been saying. For everyone that was freaking out and panicking during all these little dips, we said that the dips moving forward are buy the dip opportunities.
100%.
Because if not, who are you selling it to? You're you're selling it to BlackRock and friends. And those guys, they're not day traders, right? These people that are buying Bitcoin in the ETFs, they're looking to hold for long periods of time. They're not looking at the charts. They're not trying to time their entries. No, they're looking to buy and hold these assets for long periods of time, 5, 10, maybe even 20 years. And as they ramp up from 1% allocation to 2% to 3% or higher, this is where you're going to see things get crazy. And, remember that you don't actually need the exact amount of dollars. Like, you don't need $1 to come in to move the market cap $1, right? $1 can actually move it $3 to $4, especially with this supply crunch. And here's the crazy thing. So I put this out on Twitter. I don't know if you've been hearing about it. I've been seeing...
Real quick, Mr. Yusuf, Hadouken to you. I've been buying $500 in Bitcoin every month. Perfect. That's awesome. Good for you, man.
All these different TikTok videos talking about Jeff Bezos and all these different politicians that have been selling billions of dollars worth of stocks. The Walton family, Walmart, they were selling their stocks. But at the same time, Bitcoin is pumping. Not saying it's a direct correlation, but what if? Quite a coincidence that you have all these billionaires, all these large holders in these traditional stocks selling shares. At the same time, Bitcoin is having a 10% pump in basically 2 days. I'm not saying that they're buying Bitcoin, but somebody's obviously buying Bitcoin. We know Michael Saylor just bought some more Bitcoin, right? But here is the...
You guys are on crack if you don't think Jamie Dimon's buying it behind the scenes like he used to and did before.
Crazy thing. And this is the thing that should not be happening. This has never happened before, and this is what I want to break down. Kevin Svensson, by the way, I know I'm kind of rushing this video. I got a lot to do today, but I got to get this out to you guys. So he was talking over here on his YouTube video, and he's talking about the global liquidity, and this is just absolutely shocking when he breaks this down, guys.
If you go back in history and you look, Bitcoin's cycles are following the global liquidity, the issuance of fiat currency from central banks, the money supply. Bitcoin's price in 2012 to 2014 trending up with the global liquidity index. And then as the global liquidity index starts to sort of go sideways here, Bitcoin's price comes down. And as global liquidity shoots up, Bitcoin's price follows the global liquidity. And then you see that Bitcoin in 2018 starts to top out with the global liquidity. They both go sideways for quite some time until, of course, COVID, when the central banks around the world
it was the COVID crash, right?
Massive sums of liquidity, and they both shoot up together. And then also as the global liquidity retracts, Bitcoin's price comes down.
Oh wait, I lied. That was like over here, I think.
With it. And so it's a very, very important indicator that people do not discuss very often. But now what we're seeing is...
When was it? Was it 2020, the COVID crash? Yeah, I think that was here, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think it was around this area. Mr. Solar Miner, my man, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Congrats to the one who was Mining of the North, Nerd Beast, Alexander, and D-Miners, my man. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Bitcoin's price is diverging away from the global liquidity. We see that global liquidity isn't necessarily ticking up, but Bitcoin's price is. Why this could be the case is because there's a residual effect taking place from the massive amount of money that was injected into the global economy. So that massive injection having
Look at those green candles. Holy shit.
Lasting effect on the market, continuing to affect the market positively. Now I think the global liquidity is starting to come out to a bottom zone. Markets almost never diverge away from the global liquidity. And a lot of people don't think that Bitcoin can go above 100,000 this cycle, but with the way that things are setting up right now, I think it's quite possible that it will, against the crowd's expectations. And a lot of people assume that that's not a contrarian view, but it is, because currently the most popular analysis across crypto, for a while it was that Bitcoin's price was going to go to 10K. And then the most popular analysis now is Bitcoin's price won't go above 100. So I'm going to take the contrarian view that things might just be more bullish than people expect this cycle. And that could especially be the case if global liquidity begins ticking up with the residual effect that's already in play.
So what is
going... Good call. Real quick, Panera Card said, if you believe these bank CEOs haven't held Bitcoin since 2014 to 2018 as a hedge, you are crazy. LOL. Off-book OTC transactions, they accumulate at the bottom. And you know what? I don't think you're wrong, sir. I don't think you're wrong at all.
Going on? Why is Bitcoin not following the global liquidity as it usually does? And just think about it. If it's moving up while global liquidity is moving down, what do you think's going to happen when they turn on the money printer? What do you
And you know what's interesting too, actually? The one who was said, IMO Bitcoin is going up too much, too fast. It's going to fall like a rock soon. Just my opinion. And you know, it could. You know, it could be a buy the rumor, sell the news event after the halving, right? But what's weird to me is these ETFs, right? So BlackRock and Fidelity and all these guys, they need to buy Bitcoin, or they needed to buy Bitcoin in the background to have enough to supply these ETFs, right? They have to cover every ETF that's purchased inside the platform. So the fact that we're seeing this big of a rise or spike in Bitcoin means clearly there's more money coming into these ETFs, and they must be purchasing more to fill up their bags because they need to cover the liquidity for these ETFs in their platform. Do you know what I mean? So we might see another halt at some point again, because once they're done accumulating enough to cover, like, you know, X amount of percent over what they have for ETFs inside the platform already, then we might see a pullback, and then they'll just, you know, they'll dump it on purpose to buy more at a lower cost. That would be my opinion and what's probably going to happen, but I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it.
think's going to happen with the halving and the demand and the ETFs and the supply shock? What do you think's going to happen when they start cutting the rates?
But it's absolutely going to go parabolic again for sure. I think it's going to be close to 100K by the end of the year for sure. There's no doubt in my mind.
This is really crazy. And the craziest part is that the supply is dwindling still. In fact, this chart is even lower than the last time we had spoke about it. We have now percent, dipping below 12% on the exchanges. And, we broke down this math the other day. I tried to explain this to you guys.
Oh, that's right. There's not a lot of Bitcoin on the exchanges themselves.
Go back and watch my previous video. At the rate that Bitcoin is being bought on the ETFs, this suggests that even based on the amount, which is around 2 million supply on exchanges, we have 25,200 Bitcoin coming out every month. That means that in about 8 months, according to this chart, if it stays the same, that means that in 8 months there will theoretically, of course, this is a very extreme example, but if this continues at this rate in 8 months, there will not be any Bitcoin for anyone left to buy. Because all the holders are holding it. There'll be nothing left on the exchanges, and you'll be waiting for the daily, Bitcoin coming out, which is getting cut in half in April. This is crazy, crazy times that we're living through, guys. And like Luke Broyles, pointed out, and this is what I was saying about market cap. He goes, can someone explain to me why the Bitcoin market cap suddenly went up 100 billion today upon...
Ooh, that's a good point, actually. Crypto KJ says markets open in 12 minutes. They do. You're right. And you know what? I wonder if we'll see a sell-off a little bit of the ETFs or not. I mean, listen, this pumped 10K in 2 days. $10,000 in 2 days. That's a lot of money. So people are going to take profits for sure at some point. I don't know if it's going to be now, but it could be Friday. That would be my guess, because they can't trade over the weekends in the ETFs.
Only a 0.5 billion or $500 million in buys. I don't know if he means...
Oh, you know what? Actually, hold on. So if the market moves, right? I forget the percentages. What is it? Like, I don't know, 7, 13, and 20 or something. But once it hits 20% movement for the day, they shut off the ETFs. They can no longer trade. I wonder if we hit one of those marks yesterday with the pump, $7,000 gain in a day, and they froze the ETFs. People couldn't take it out. I wonder. Interesting.
I think he means $500 million. So yeah, it basically doubled the amount that came in. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. And this is why things can get very crazy. In fact, you can see right here, investors are waking up to the fact that Bitcoin is outpacing everything. Look at this, guys. Statistically, a portfolio holding 98% cash. Okay, 98% cash and 2% Bitcoin has literally beat the S&P 500 over any 4-year cycle, or really just over any 4 years in general. So just wanted to bring this to you guys. I'm telling you, yes, we can have these pullbacks. Yes, we can have a 20% retracement we had from the 0.618. If we have that again today, that will put Bitcoin back down at around 46, which would still be putting in higher lows.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I want it to go up forever, but I want to pull back so I can get a little more.
So again, I believe personally, not financial advice, that all dips are for buying. And again, if you're not following me, in the Telegram group, the official one below, which by the way, I don't charge for anything. I don't ask anyone for money. If I'm ever asking you for money, it's not me, it's a scammer, because I don't do stuff like that. Everything I do is free. But check that out below, because as you guys can see right here, we had GT Protocol. This was sitting at around $2-ish when we last spoke about it. And
yeah, all right. We're not going to, he's kind of just chilling his Telegram thing. But anyways, shout out to Crypto Zombie, because that video was fantastic. He did a good job on technical analysis. All right. let's get into this. I know you guys, some of you guys don't like this video or this channel, but anyways, Altcoin Daily over here. 1 year Bitcoin price target, how to get rich in crypto. Is that financial advice? I'm not sure. Let's find out.
If you look at the last 14
Hit that like button,
years,
guys.
you usually get a quadruple after a halving. So Bitcoin right now is trading 57,000. I'm not sure where it'll be
60.
On or about April 20th when the halving actually takes place. But let's say it's at 50,000. That would imply over 18 months from the halving a $200,000 Bitcoin price. So the price is going up primarily because there's not a lot of supply out there, and yet you're seeing these Bitcoin ETFs coming into the marketplace with 12 to 14 times what's available in terms of what the network is producing every single day. And so that's why you're seeing this price squeeze. And of course, you do have people that don't believe in Bitcoin that are short Bitcoin. And so they're getting wrecked right now. And I think that's the combination of why you're seeing such great price appreciation.
Oh, they're getting destroyed right now. Black Hat Team in the chat said ETFs are up 5% pre-market, no selling pressure. Nice. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was just wondering if things did get shut off yesterday where people couldn't sell out, and I wonder if we'll see people taking some sort of profits. I mean, I'm sure people trade ETFs, maybe. I don't know. Is that how that works? I've never been into ETFs, so I have no idea. But let me know in the chat. Do people trade those? Like, do they take profits and then get back in? I know you have to wait 30 days for like a tax loss, right? If you're harvesting that, it's 30 days. You have to wait before you can get back in. But do people do like the daily thing or like the, next day get back in?
Everyone is getting rich in crypto. It's not too late. The Altcoin Daily audience, surely, but everyone. Crypto is in a raging bull market, and rest assured, it's not too late. I think there's plenty more upside to go. If you follow the right people, you can change your life. Bookmark this video, give this video a like. I want to change your life with this video. I mean, I
I was thinking, how they do the stoppage of the ETFs, right? Would you say get halted after 5% or something, says the one who was, I think it's 7, 13, and 20 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, if they halt the market, right, for the ETFs, that doesn't mean that BlackRock can't sell and buy in the background. That's crazy, actually, to think about. That they could hold your shit up, do whatever the hell they want, and then you're stuck. Huh.
I don't want you to miss the most life-changing opportunity of our time. Bitcoin just made a new all-time high in
self-custody, people.
What is this, like the 18th currency that Bitcoin has made a new all-time high in? And guys, these are not some tiny countries that you've never heard of. 14 of these make up 13% of the world's population, 7% of the world's GDP. Argentina is leading the scoreboard with 254% inflation rate. That's crazy. It's almost as if Bitcoin was designed for this, and it's only going to accelerate. So let this be a reminder to you. It's not Bitcoin going up, it's the fiat currencies going down. So long as governments are printing fiat, Bitcoin will be skyrocketing. End of story. We're now like 1, 2, 3 months out from the Bitcoin ETFs getting approved. Guess what? BlackRock's ETF had the largest volume day life to date.
Wait, what? What did he just say? Hold on. Sorry.
End of story. We're now like 1, 2, 3 months out from the Bitcoin ETFs getting approved. Guess what?
Do you mean to say Ethereum ETFs getting approved? I think I'm going to say Ethereum ETFs getting approved. Am I wrong?
What? BlackRock's ETF had...
Or is he talking about like in, past tense or whatever?
The largest volume day life to date. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF just broke 1 billion in trading volume in one day. Taking a look at the sum of ETFs, over 3.24 billion in that day.
I guess
BlackRock over
a
billion, Grayscale almost a billion. Take a look at these numbers. And the outflows, the selling from Grayscale's GBTC. Yesterday, GBTC had its lowest outflow yet so far.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah, they had the lowest outflow so far. Because it's been like crazy, right? Like, what is this? What are these two zeros?
The selling pressure is drying up. Fidelity now recommends a 1 to 3% crypto allocation in your portfolio. Gateway Drug. What happens when that 1 to 3% becomes 3 to 6%? Slowly, then suddenly. You need to follow the right people. You need to stay in tune with the market. This is something we do on a daily basis because you're about to see cryptocurrency traders get euphorically lazy. Life-changing wealth does that to you. Don't rest on your laurels. Continue to double down and go hard in crypto, learning every day. The difference between a $1 million...
What I think you guys should all do, to be honest, sit down, Seriously, take it serious, sit down and make a plan. What is your goal with your crypto holdings, with whatever you have? Get that number, get it in your head, write it down, and make sure you guys follow that. Take it out when it gets there, because you will ride it back down 1,000% if you get greedy.
Crypto portfolio and a 10 million crypto portfolio is how hard you work when you're up. Smash the like button if you agree with this. Understand where this market is going. Bitcoin has never hit an all-time high before the halving, but will this time be different? Well, Bitcoin's halving is just over 50 days away. Is this time different? Comment your thoughts in the comment section below. My thoughts? DC investors' thoughts? Look, I don't know, but we just opened up crypto to the largest capital market on the planet via the Bitcoin ETF and hopefully soon an Ethereum ETF. So yeah, I think
the Ethereum ETF is going to pump it to about, I don't know, I'd say between 7 and 10K. What do you guys think?
Keep an open mind that this time could indeed be somewhat different. I mean, Bitcoin is now a popular issue on the world's stage. It's now a US presidential election issue.
But isn't the next logical step for you to embrace Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin obviously is decentralized. The government can't get its hands on it. What about Bitcoin with all the young people, including African Americans, who are very interested in it?
Why did you have to say that? Why did you have to say that, like, point at that guy? Like, what the fuck?
People are doing it. I always liked one currency. I call it a currency. I like the dollar. But a lot of people are doing it. And frankly, it's taken a life of its own. You probably have to do some regulation, as you know. But many people are embracing it. And more I'm seeing people wanting to pay Bitcoin. And you're seeing something that's interesting. So
the macro conditions for Bitcoin and
that wasn't just me, right? Like, that was fucked up, right? Am I wrong? Like, it's weird.
Crypto are incredibly strong. Bitcoin and all investable assets will boom in this environment. Listen.
This is not just a bull run in the United States. We're seeing some of the European markets hit record all-time highs. You're seeing Japan reach all-time highs since 1989, 1990. That market could be moving into a whole new secular bull market. So, and a lot of people have been saying that this rally is narrow, that it's only like the Magnificent Seven. We used to talk about FANG, but it really is a lot more. We're getting new highs in many different pockets of the market. And a barometer that you don't hear a lot of people talk about is the S&P advanced decline line. And that is confirming the breakout in the S&P 500.
And by the way, being bullish, that's the counter narrative still. Most prominent talking heads are bearish, like JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon. He says that he's preparing for a crash. Listen to this.
I know you said in fourth quarter earnings that last month that inflation may be stickier, rates may be higher than the markets expect. Is that still your base case? And what's kind of
eat shit, Gary?
Fueling
Should have said Jamie.
That more cautious tone right now.
Yeah, so the way I learned, remember in 1972 you felt great too, and before any crash you felt great, and then so things changed. So you got to look ahead. And I do think there are things.
How long's he been parting his hair? Look at that bald line. Holy shit.
Things out there which kind of concerning, we've got an eye on, and why we
Daniel Porter said the same thing. That's hysterical.
Doing so well. A lot of it's fiscal spending, and fiscal spending has a multiplier too. So I just think it may not come down that quick, and people may be surprised.
He's lying so much his hair's falling out.
So when people talk about the market, this kind of pricing a soft landing, that may very well happen. But the odds at 7 or 80%, I would give you half of that. That's all.
Look, guys, either Jamie Dimon is playing dumb, purposefully deceiving,
he is,
or he just hasn't
100% purposely deceiving everybody.
The homework. If you do
Facts.
the homework, this is what you realize. Anthony Scaramucci and Joe Kernan on CNBC.
Like you said, it became very clear to me the first time I did any homework at all, and it was an hour. That's all it took. And it's a little bit frustrating. I think most people, and it's so easy to be negative on Bitcoin and just call it beanie babies. But I know that they haven't, I don't think Charlie Munger, I'm almost certain they've never really just looked at a chapter on exactly what the asset is and how it works, or the properties of money over 4,000 years. Because there's like 6 or 7 things, and you can just, money isn't always backed by a government. It's used by society to account for what you do so you can exchange it for what someone else does. It's that simple, and you can see the properties of it. And it's so elegant, it makes so much sense that I just wish they would do the homework, just like you. That's your answer now. They need to do the homework. You don't even argue.
Just do the homework, but gold is a $16 trillion asset, and Bitcoin has a lot of the same properties as gold. And I would make a case that it's better than gold because it's easier to move around. It should trade to at least half of that. It's at $1 trillion right now, and so that would be an 8x. And again, that's from now until 2030. So just go back to 1971 when we pulled ourselves off the gold standard. The U.S. dollar's lost 98% of its purchasing power in 52 years. And so Satoshi Nakamoto in the white paper basically said, look, maybe they're drunk driving with the money, and maybe we can create a decentralized system where the assets are harder. And, you know, this decentralized, fully transparent currency is definitely going to rise in value. And again, maybe it won't be the currency standard for the world, but it certainly can replace gold or be alongside of gold as a store of value.
Facts.
And I certainly, Larry, thinks that. Right. Otherwise, he wouldn't be out there with it ETF.
Look, guys.
That's so true. Real quick, Mr. Joker Miner.
Perfect.
What are you going to say to me, Chump? He says, thanks for being a member for 16 months.
It's not just Bitcoin anymore. You
Love
guys
you,
need
buddy.
to follow accounts like ours to tell you about the next opportunities in the cryptocurrency market. I'm bullish on Bitcoin, but I'm bullish on Ethereum. I'm bullish on altcoins. Ethereum is currently sitting in the $3,000 range. The Deacon upgrade is 21 days away for Ethereum. A potential spot ETH ETF approval is coming in May. Is ETH about to go parabolic? Think about it like this. The total altcoin market just completed a successful retest of the accumulation zone. There will be dips along the way, but this run is far from over. Hold tight and enjoy the ride. This chart will allow you to make obscene amounts of money in the coming months, not with leverage, but with patience. So how do I know that we're in a raging bull market that most people will miss out on? How do I know that there's more upside to go? Well, let's put it this way. A crazy shit show of an MMA fight between the biggest crypto influencers.
Oh my God. This was the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Can we just laugh at this for a minute? You guys want to laugh at this with me?
Place in an overrun prison in Mexico City, Mexico.
Welcome back to our condemned prison here in Mexico City. We've got a little bit more action coming your way tonight, and we're very pleased to bring you a selection
This is the dumbest
of
shit.
IFC influencer fight.
All right, this match right here was so not good. Like he is like 70. This dude's a giant. He beat his ass. Like he didn't like even get close. Like, he is so big. Like that's why weight classes matter. Just so you guys know.
Club matches.
And this fight was like just awful. And his stupid tattoo. I saw the Cassie tattoo, by the way. I can't believe he got his tattoo. That says Cassie on his left pec or his right pec, whatever.
Tonight,
Cardano
somewhere
Bull,
on his chest.
Crypto Crow KO'd an NFL player, Cardano.
That is why weight classes matter. Look at how big this dude is. He's a giant.
Pumped 5%.
7 feet, 265 pounds. Moon Daddy seems so small, but he's 6 foot
tall.
5.
I know, isn't that ridiculous? Well, unsurprisingly, the 7-foot-tall giant was successful with a clubbing right hand.
BitBoy Ben Armstrong won the whole thing, beating up the Sonic Obama meme coin founder.
Oh, it's a 1-minute third round.
That guy, like, oh my God.
That's amazing.
Watch how tired BitBoy was, though.
It's a literal sprint.
I mean, BitBoy wants this guy dead. BitBoy wants the Inu Sonic Obama.
Listen, this is very taxing, I'm sure, and tiring, but dude, he is dying.
Token fried. Dead, bro.
He's like, I can't breathe.
He's coming out here looking like H3H3 on a mission. Oh! This man is out for blood. I've never seen such ferocious fighting.
Your hands up, man.
Tyson in his
Facial
prime.
expressions.
This is incredible.
13 seconds left.
You know, shit's getting entertainment when people are boxing in their YouTubers.
How does this feeling of winning a fight?
There it is. There's the Cassie tattoo right there. On his right pec.
Done in your life?
Well, it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done.
I hope that's fake. I hope that washes off.
Everything inside you didn't know you had. It's something to do.
He's dying. He is dying.
All of these crazy shenanigans happened I myself.
Oh my God, this was fantastic. Did anybody see this before I play it? Did anybody see this? I myself almost got knocked out. He says, look at him. Look at him being a moron in the back.
Almost got knocked out by
this guy.
The host of the whole thing. And the cryptocurrency market
so funny.
Didn't dump because of all this.
He gets yelled
it
at.
pumped. Amazing. Subscribe to our channel.
Like, this guy might die if he doesn't get his hand off me.
Physical metaphor of what it would look like if George St.
so happy he
Pierre
plays
and
it.
Boss Rutan tried to buy crypto. These are complex mechanisms that are difficult to understand. This guy might get killed if he doesn't get his hand off me. These are incredibly, seriously, get the fuck off me. These are incredibly difficult things to comprehend. And
it's like, seriously, get the fuck off of me. Oh, shout out to Altcoin Daily for embarrassing himself on live TV. All right, guys, Bitcoin at 60,259. We are going way over time. I gotta get back to daddy duty. Wife's gonna get to work. You guys are fantastic. Let's recap a little bit. Does anybody have any questions before we get out of here? Actually, I put a poll in the chat. Let me just kill this real quick. Do you own any Bitcoin was my question. 76% of you said yes, but 24% of you said no. The people that said no, I guess I'd like to know why. Is there any reason you don't own Bitcoin? Are you like, do you say like, would you be more into ETFs or more into, I guess, getting your own custody of Bitcoin, or are you guys just more into altcoins? That's kind of what I would like to know. But you guys leave it in the comments after the fact, obviously. Let's see. Let's just check out a few coins before we get out of here. I guess. Let's see. Is Kaspa having a pullback? I just check. Let's refresh Lithium. Lithium's having a little bit more of a downside. 353. Let's see. Kaspa, how's that holding up? It is at 17.89, just under 18 cents. Not too bad though. Not too bad. They own ETH. Well, Nismo Miner. To be honest, I own ETH too. It's ETH. I think is gonna do very well in this run up for sure. I think it's gonna get between 7 and 10K if I had to guess. That would be my guess, not financial advice, just 100% my thoughts on it, personal thoughts, and that's where I'm holding till. So we'll see there. I still can't fathom that Bitcoin. Oh, hold on, let's refresh this. Is that right? It's down to 60,034 even. Not according to Coin 360. Interesting. Man, these ads, man. We're using Brave browser too. Ads still pop up. Nuts. Mr. Max Voltage in the chat. What's up, buddy? I can't believe Bitcoin is over 60K. It's killing it, dude. It's killing it. Chump Change has a huge NFT bag. Don't let him fool you. No NFTs here. I do have Ethereum, but no NFTs. Let's see. Sell-off begins. You know what? I'm hoping for a pullback. $10,000 in like 2 days is a lot of volume. It's a lot of money. Things can't go up forever. I'm assuming we're gonna have some sort of pullback. I'm gonna personally DCA in. I put some money in Coinbase yesterday, and I'm gonna start DCAing, I think, at the beginning of next month. I wanted to do it. That's Friday, right? So that's the 1st. I want to do it then. I'm gonna start Friday. And what do you guys think I should do? Should I do $100 a week? I mean, a day into Bitcoin, or should I do like $250 a day into Bitcoin? No, Max, I did not. I have Bitcoin though. I have Bitcoin. I have holdings, a decent amount of holdings in Bitcoin. It is about 50% or so, close to 50% of my portfolio. So yeah, I have a decent amount of Bitcoin. Let's see, 1,000 per hour into Bitcoin. Hell no. No, so I personally put 10K into Coinbase yesterday to DCA in for now, and then after the halving, if I need to put more in, I will. But that's enough to leave on Coinbase for me, to be honest. Should have started 12 months ago. Mining of the North. So I have, like I said, I have holdings in Bitcoin. So I'm doing very well. Yeah, I really can't complain about like where I got in with Bitcoin. But just in general, I still want to DCA because I do think that it is going to be the most scarce asset on the planet. And that's just a fact. Game with Smokey Dan. Do $150 for you and $50 for the little ones. College funds. Oh yeah, you know what, dude, I was thinking about that too. I gotta I'm actually gonna be mining to wallets for them. I actually have 10 tangems for them. This is one of them right here. Actually, I gotta set them up today at some point. And if you guys don't have a tangem, the code CCXD gets you 10% off. These things are $50 to keep your shit safe. Please do that. I don't care. Get an LE Pal. I have LE Pals here. This is what I was grabbing during the stream show you guys. The Titan 2, or this is the Titan 2.0 is actually pretty cool too, right? Get something to hold your stuff, a ledger, whatever you guys want. I don't care whose code you use. Just be safe. Sick of people getting hacked because it's freaking awful. Anyways, guys, love you long time. Hopefully you guys have a great Wednesday. I gotta be back to daddy duty, so I will catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, I'll catch you guys soon. Let's go raid Miss Randy Hipper. Peace out. Have a good day, guys.
This hash rate's going bonkers.